Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be coming out in just a moment. Welcome to the show, and welcome to your Happy Healer. Hello, welcome. And so there is just the fact that we're still making the case here in this race, aren't we? And I'll be going right back there in just a moment. We're setting up for our, speech, of course. We always have something to say. And just to kind of update you a little bit, we were last night on, and each day we are coming on, and it allows us the opportunity to share in a different way. But without going on for too long, we're actually going to just go ahead and get started here today. And I'm going to put over just momentarily a part of the speech while I get us set up. And then I'm going to come back and talk to you live, and then I'm going to put the speech back on. Okay, so too much crying. Talk to me. Talk to the Happy Healer. Here I am live. The Happy Healer's live. This is how we jive. Talk to the Happy Healer. Yeah, that's really cool. So it is somewhat very interactive, and I'm trying to improve upon it every moment, every second. And there's all kinds of ideas that's coming through here. And just imagine how all of this is going to evolve. I mean, all of this, right? How it's all going to evolve. Imagine. I want you to imagine. I want you to believe and to imagine too. Okay, let's talk about crime. We have some serious issues. Crime has a reason. Just like every other effect has a cause. For every cause, there is an effect. And I'm saying this elementary stuff, and even that has a reason, right? And here's the reason for crime. People don't have their sustenance. The economy's working for some people, but it's not you. It's not necessarily you. Maybe it is. But it's not working for everyone. That's the point. And really, it's not working for you, I'll be honest with you. In my opinion, I don't care who you are, it's not working for you. Because our economy needs to gradually shift into one that is about the future, where we're headed, not where we were, but where we're going. Not where we was, but where we're going. You get what I'm saying? So we all have to be focused on that future. And when we get excited about that future, something else comes with it. Because we are talking about crime, I don't want to confuse you. But when we get more and more focused on that future, we're bringing in and ushering in a great new age. We're taking care of humanity. I mean, think about the ramifications of that, Comstock. Think about the ramifications of that. Everybody who is listening, think about that just for a moment. We are ushering in a brand new age. An age where humanity is put first. Humanity is put on a pedestal. And that we treat people with love and with kindness. That we do something so profoundly different. That we claim our stake. We say we have arrived. That humanity has arrived, and that humanity has intrinsic value. And with that value, we also stake claim to the fact that each person who we say has value is taken care of as such. So it's time to take care of humanity. In that sense, very simple. We have proposed, and we will. And this is part of the platform. These are the things that we do not budge on. How do we get there? Hello. Welcome. I am your happy healer. Welcome. This is live right now. I want to say welcome because this is the first time we're meeting, perhaps some of you. And we just have some stuff that's very important that we need to talk about. And I think you will agree once we get into some of this here. And we're getting into it right now. So welcome, like I said. And I'm going to put myself back over here a little bit to the podium and we'll just get going. So, testing 1, 2. Okay, good. We just kind of set this like this. And, yeah, this is it, folks. What you're seeing, we're actually doing it. This is actually an attempt to talk about the issues that matter to us. And there's so many of them. And the Happy Healer just needs to talk to you about these things. And I'm the Happy Healer. And make no mistake about it, if you haven't had a chance, I'm going to say this right off the bat. www.happyhealerforpresident.com. I would appreciate if you took an opportunity, that you went there, that you took just some glancing, passing moments. And I think you'll find some stuff there that's really important to us, the American people. Okay, and the reason why I put it like that is because nobody's talking about our issues. Nobody cares about us. So there's that. Let me turn this music down. It was all great until it started blasting like that. Actually, we don't even need the music on too much, but maybe this is okay. There we go. And so let's just talk about what matters to us. Let's start with that. You know, I'm a very spiritual person, and I love God, and that's the message that I'm putting out there to folks. And forgive me if I'm getting off a little rusty today. Usually I have a lot of energy, and I'm just fired up, and I'm going at it, but today's my first speech of the day. It's my first time coming on to you guys, and so each day it's like this, you know, just the first one I'm like this. First off, I'm already a big major dork. And this is like the ultra dork, you know, when I first come out and get going. But what matters to us, guys, are the things that I'm talking about here. And I know some of you are so quick to judge, and you're just so quick to just jump in there. Oh, you're such a horrible person. No. Without knowing anything about my candidacy. First off, let's just get this out of the way. I am of the people. I am for the people, and I am by the people. I am running from the aspect of the people. I am you running. If you can't accept somebody just like yourself running, a normal American, then it's almost like saying the only people we can ever accept or allow to govern our lives are people that we see as being better than us. Is that really the case? So let's stop with that talk of it's not possible. And let's further stop saying that because it is possible. In fact, our man Donald Trump helped pave the way in that regard a lot of way, right? I mean, this is a guy who everybody laughed at him and told him he couldn't do it. And he went and did it anyway. Of course, he at that time was saying a lot of the right things. Your Happy Healer voted for Donald Trump. But I have to be honest, the reason why I'm running is because there's no candidate out there talking about the things that really matter to us. And so I am running. I am here because of that reason. And what are those things? Spiritually speaking, first off, we are so empty on the inside, filled with so much hate. You know, you're my brethren. I voted the same way as you. You are, and right now I say that because I am in specifically areas that are, you know, loving to Trump, and also myself. A lot of my friends have known me to be that way for a long time. And the thing about it is, that was the best of two evils. I was hoping with all of my might that us moderates would have an answer. Because before Trump, before I voted for him, I was a Democrat. And all right, so I know a lot of you hardcore conservatives will kick me right out of the room. Realize that when you do that, you're kicking my vote out of the room too. And there's a lot of moderates just like me. And so how can Donald Trump win again if the attitude by his supporters and by him is that moderates don't matter? Anyways, the bigger message here for Donald Trump is if you're his supporter, well, then he loves you, right? But if you're not his supporter, then he don't love you. So that's just a matter of, that's a difference of opinion, to be honest. I'm all about loyalty, and I'm for the American people. But when it comes to putting the American people first, I just can't agree with things like, you know what, we can talk about infrastructure for Americans if they don't do any kind of investigations on the president. I don't agree with that just because, that's Trump saying that. And, you can't take that approach and still say you're for America first. You're for the people first. And that's what the Happyhealer is. And he failed to deliver on healthcare. I took that personal. And so why am I taking that personal? Because I seen my mother die. I seen my brother die. I seen my sister-in-law die. I seen a lot of people just dying because they don't have health care. And we need health care. It's easy to think everything's okay if you have health care or if you're not really thinking about the issue. But when you personally know there's people around you that have died, that not having health care is life extinguishing. It's life extinguishing. Think about it. Every time we have anything go wrong with us and we don't have health care, it just dampens our life that much more. Makes it that much harder for us to be able to break through and do anything, doesn't it? That's why you just got to have love in life also. And in this campaign, we are the campaign of unity. We're bringing America back together again. America has been splintered. That's not a strong country. Even if we're doing great on numbers economically, that our GDP is going great, well, that's great. Okay, and it's the result of the hard work and ingenuity of the American people, along with sensible policy. Policy that the Happyhealer would keep going, right? Because he puts America first. He puts the people of America first, but not all the policy. Let's talk about this for a moment. You can't even focus on what's best for the future of Americans if you are not focused on them. And right now, a lot of the people in the Republican Party seem to be missing the point. They had the people with them, and they're missing the point, but that's fine. Because we don't have to think in terms of Republican or Democrat anymore. When I was on the Democratic side, I was all over there and caught up in it. They're playing a mind game with us. And when I was on the Republican side, and it's the same thing there. The last thing that this country needs is to be having people at the top who are instigating our citizens and the people within, causing this rife and, quite frankly, a soft civil war, as many people see us in right now. And that's unacceptable. We have that coming from virtually all the people running for president, except for your Happyhealer. And that's me, Keith Landy, running for president 2020. And you got to go to www.happyhealerforpresident.com. And then you'll learn more about it. And I assure you, you're going to love what we're talking about. You can't get on quick enough with people who you just met and tell them about your campaign. They don't recognize your face. They're giving you all of 8 seconds. That is the attention span these days. Trust the Happyhealer in this way. He does media. He knows, and he wouldn't lead you astray. He is telling you the truth in this regard. Folks, we have gone down to an 8-second attention span. Think about how human communication suffers when we can't give our fellow man 8 seconds, but yet we're giving people who would denigrate us, who have been denigrating us, and we just sit there with our mouths open and all, ha, 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 ha. I don't freaking think so. Sorry, not me. You go kiss ass like that, not the Happy Healer. Because you see, while all those other condescending candidates, Trump included, is out there saying, pay me homage, the Happy Healer's in it for one simple reason. I'm tired of all of these self-serving politicians and people who don't get the truth. I am here and forevermore as an American, steadfast and resolute in the fact that we matter, that we come first, and that these politicians, including Trump, haven't been doing it. So, I humbly approach you and I say, let's try a different path. Put your Happy Healer in there, and then you know you put somebody who loves this country, who loves you, who was just on your side of the fence only yesterday, and for tomorrow to be president of the United States serving your interests. And to have so much love in God. This is, make no mistake about it, a spiritual future that we're all talking about here. And it's so amazing. My goodness, when you see the spiritual future that we're all talking about and just what's so possible. Oh my goodness, so we're going to get into some of that too right now. And I really think that this platform you guys are going to like. There is nobody else talking about the things that matter to us. And your Happy Healer's over it. No, I'm sorry. We're dedicated to doing the right thing here. And just watching all of these self-serving politicians in Budapest and all these different people coming up. It's scary to think that they're going to come in the wake of Donald Trump, that maybe somehow Donald Trump becomes a one-term president and we have a full-on, no-holds-barred, complete socialist, has no clue of what the hell's going on, doesn't even know why they're a socialist, okay? What the Happy Healer is talking about are all brand new ideas. We're not talking about old, worn-out ideas that don't work no more, that don't reflect the country where we're all headed to. We're not talking about ideas that are geared out of massive change, but ill-found change, such as the Green New Deal. We're not talking about that. Now, there's things in the Green New Deal that we're going to say is okay because they tend to adopt what our thinking is on, but by no means is the Green New Deal the right wording, the right messaging, or even the right prescription for America. And then you have the side where, no matter what, and if we can, just in between here, can we talk about human values? I'm your humanity candidate. I'm your human value candidate. We don't have one right now. We don't have a human value candidate because the Democrats are willing to kill babies. Well, I'm a Democrat, okay? I'm running as a Democrat, but that's just a schematic. We just need to win. That's what that is. And the fact is, we believe in our candidacy because we're by, for, and of the people. So we just have to give ourselves the best chance to win. I mean, we're the American people. And if we don't give ourselves the best chance to win, well, then we're saying to the other side, come on over and mess us up good, aren't we? Aren't we just saying that to the other side to say, screw with us good? Haven't we been saying that for just the longest time? And now isn't it time to say something different? Isn't it time to take a different road? I think so. And Donald Trump, he earned my vote through the rhetoric in 2016, talking about the things that mattered to the Happy Healer's heart because he lost his mother in 2012. He lost his brother and so many others to sickness. And when Donald Trump said, and I have held on to every word, that he was going to deliver health care for all, what I believed about Donald Trump is that he could get it done. You see, because Hillary Clinton was saying that she was going to do it too. But I don't think she could get it done. Donald Trump could get it done. He could have gotten it done this whole time. But the reason why he didn't give it to you is because he was greedy. Because he didn't want to give what he felt would be a little win to Obama. That's what that was about. Because he had already promised it to win, and now he's talking about, don't worry, we'll take care of health care after the election. Are you kidding me? Have you not learned anything from the midterms? Well, now you got Happyhealer running for president. Good job, Trump. You know, I wanted to be behind you with all of my heart. I wanted to. I started out that way. Only you can mess it up. And some of your supporters, not all of them, a lot of your supporters are coming with the Happyhealer because they love God too, because they love humanity too, and because they're ready for something better. They're over this nonsense. These condescending candidates from way up there who have to look way down here to just see us. We're so far from their vision, they can't even make us out. The best they could do is point at us like this and then a little smile, a little condescending smile. This is the best we'll ever get out of them. And that's not good enough. No, I'm sorry, that's not good enough when we have a brave new world that we're entering. That is not good enough. And the Happyhealer will not settle for that. No, it's not good enough when we have the modern, mechanized, automated, industrialized world fast approaching the brave new world. And President Trump seems to not see it. He's so caught up in the past ways. Like, I get, let's make America great again. Okay, great again. All right, let's make America great, period. You know what? The bottom line is we're going to make America great when we make her people great. America is her people. And you can't say, oh, we're going to make America great and then denigrate its people. You can't denigrate the human individual in America and say you're taking care of its people. That's just a conflict of words. You have clearly worked yourself into a corner. And the fact is, many moderates can see it. And they're not standing for it anymore. And, you know, I don't want to see the country go back to a socialist way. Us moderates, we saved the country from that. We went from the impossible. We went to Donald Trump after we came from a far other side. And we did it for what was right in this country. And trust me when I tell you, there were millions of people who were just of that category. Okay, moderates and independents, Democrats like myself who voted for Trump. They did not do that again in the midterms. And you just have to wonder, what is it that we are fighting for if it's not the American people? What is it? I ask you that. What is it? We're fighting for the American people. That's what this candidacy is about. Because it's founded and rooted in what is important to Americans all the way to the core. And now let's talk about a little bit. I want to get back onto Trump about something, but before we go on too much more about him, I just want to cover about what it means. And if you go to the candidacy for the Happyhealer at happyhealerforpresident.com, you'll see the things that are important to us are up there. We're going to have an announcement on June 14th. The people's candidacy is going to come out on the 14th. You're getting advanced notice. We're actually out there and talking, but we're announcing, and we have a nice big thing all planned right here in the Happyhealer's hometown of Orlando, Florida. It's just going to be beautiful. I wanted to let you know about that, and that is on Flag Day of June 14th. And we have our flag right here. Look at that. Good old glory. We have our flags all set up. We are in the Happyhealer headquarters for love, truth, and for putting Americans, the humanity in America first. I am the only humanity candidate. We are fighting for what is right for each and every human soul, that the soul matters, that we have faith, and that faith in God tells us that we as human beings are entitled to a life where we are empowered to love freely, and that we can't freely love right now, but that we should be able to freely love. And that's what this candidacy is also about, because right now you see so much hate. There are people in my family, in my life, and my friends who I don't talk to anymore because of politics. And I know it's true for many of us. This is a sick and visceral place where our country has come from. I just think of it as the Happyhealer, and I say to myself, no more. No more. And that's the candidacy of the Happy Healer, is unity and love in this country. And imagine what we can get done with a fully unified country. And I mean taking care of its people and loving God and putting values in a real way. Humanity, and staking our claim in those values so clear and saying that is our mission, the American people. We may not be able to make this vision true for the world, but we can set an example right here in America, and we are the American people. We are the dream candidates, and we love this country. We are this country. We are you. We are not the condescending candidates. You will have to go elsewhere for that. We just love, and we know that the way forward is with love and unity and understanding and meeting the needs of the American people in the new age. And that's where we're headed right now, is the brave new world, the modern, mechanized, automated, industrialized world that's quickly emerging with all of the new age technology and with AI. This is a brave new world. Are you kidding me? This isn't the world of the past. This isn't the world of your grandparents. This most certainly isn't the world Donald Trump grew up in, and it's not the world that Donald Trump is ushering in. This is a brave new world brought on by your creator. I don't care how much credit you want to give to Donald Trump. We, and I myself right there for the longest time, but you just got to wake up, and you can't give all the credit for what is God's result of hard work and ingenuity, the creator of all, and of course the American people. This is all of our success. What is this? Because of one person, Trump? He would say so. But would you believe it? He would say so. But would you then believe it? Because that's the question here, folks. If you really believe that one man is the result of all of the hard work, of the ingenuity of the American people and everything that they have done, well, then I think that you're selling the American people thin and cheap, and your Happy Healer would never do that because we care, and that's the reason why we're running. So we couldn't be about that kind of double talk like some of our opponents are. And then you have Mayor Buddy, another gay guy. I'm gay. Hey, you want a gay candidate? Vote your Happy Healer in, who he's not been trying to become president for the last eons. He sees a problem now, and he's trying to be the answer to that problem. He's got his family, and he values conservative America. He is a conservative. He values all of America. He values the Democrats. He values Americans. And that's the kind of attitude we need right now, not the division of a hardcore Republican or a hardcore Democrat. If at any point it was time to put the American agenda first, the American agenda, and on that American agenda is very simple. What makes sense for humanity? And you could trust your Happy Healer. We'll be talking about this stuff. You can go directly to happyhealerforpresident.com and take a look at these issues that matter most to us. That website, only up for 2.5 weeks now, throughout the Happy Healer's candidacy, is so much more in depth and sharing so much more about his candidacy and the run for our future and the future of our country and our world. And yet only 2.5 weeks having been on this platform for president. Well, this platform he has been on for a long time, but running for president. So that's a fact right there. While you have all these other candidates who have long been out in the races already and who are sharing nothing. They're trying to keep themselves as wide open so they could run like this to clinch the nomination. They can run like that. They can shift around. Guys, are you going to be that foolish? Just because they do it over the course of 2 years, are you going to forget that quickly? Really? I mean, I didn't forget when I was told by Trump that I was going to get health care for all, and then I lost my sister-in-law. I didn't forget that. I didn't forget when I lost my own health care. I never forgot that. So you're going to break something, then you got to fix it, right? And if you're going to own it. And the American people spoke loud and clear on healthcare. Over 70% of Americans believe in full-blooded healthcare for all. And to say it's not possible, I'm sorry. Are you talking about Donald Trump, the can-do-anything man? He can't get it done? I'll tell you what, the Happy Healer can get it done. Healthcare for all. Oh, well, I'm sorry, Donald Trump, you can't get it done. But we're working for the American people. They come first. So we're already resolute in what we must do. Now the question is, how must we get done that which we know needs to get get done, and we simply will get it done. Donald Trump, where's your consensus on this matter, sir? Because you lied! And now you cost the Republican Party votes. They lost to Congress. Instead, you filled your own britches up saying how great you are, but that doesn't fix the problem that you lost Congress, does it? And we're headed towards a presidential election quickly also, that if you don't snap up, then you're going to lose a lot more. Your happy healer is coming here. And the people who then so bravely and courageously gave their support to Donald Trump, I say now, give your happy healer the support. Believe in the American candidate. Believe in the candidate who is thinking and fighting for us. And let's bring in this brave new world that we're talking about of AI. It's entrusting in God. And the left wants to go there. The right wants to go there. Everybody wants to go there. It's about ushering in a world where we can really have it all, where we can have our kindness and our love, and we can be in and of that environment. We don't have to have, we can categorically reject this infighting, this civil war that we're quickly marching towards. You've got the President of the United States all the way on down to almost, it seems like every single congressman and senator, all ready to march right into a civil war. Except for it's not what us Americans want. We never put ourselves there. It was them and their greed that got us there. And yeah, Trump was no help. I mean, your president is to be the uniter in chief. Your happy healer is at no other time in history is needed more so than he is needed now. And he gives you this solemn oath. He will be your happy healer all throughout, but he will also be your inspirer in chief. We will inspire the American people to dig down deeper, to love harder, and to do the great work of our Creator going forward, the work of love and the work of truth, and to have a consensus of truth that we can all agree on, that just makes sense and is focused on taking care of the human character. And my friends on the right, you have to give something up. We got to take care of people and give them their health care. And further, we got to go even further than that. In a world where robots are taking over, we have to put humanity first. To the extent that we value humanity and God, and the creation of all these robots is nothing more than a gift from God. It allows us the opportunity to free ourselves up and focus on our love and the things that we're messing up right now so boldly. Yes, we need this. Yes, we do. And it's what the American people want. You hear them screaming on both ends. You hear them screaming on the left. They want change. You hear them screaming on the right. We gave you Donald Trump. They are ready. But none of the candidates out there are talking about what is important to the American people. None of them are staking their claim into this dream. But make no mistake about it, while they fail to stake the claim in this dream, they are blinded by the impending civil war. Your happy healer is ever so focused on the truth, on the peace, on the future, where we're headed. He's ever cognizant of the fact that we have a eager China and Russia all headed towards the brave new future, but that we will get there first, and that we will serve the needs of the American people. Make no mistake about it, this is a candidacy rooted in the needs of the American people. Yes, we are a serious candidacy. And we do mean serious business. Like I said, on June 14th, we'll be announcing our candidacy, and I believe that this country is going to listen. The words coming from here, make no mistake about it, are inspired by our Creator. This is exactly what we need to hear, because it's exactly how we have been destroying our lives. Pushing people we care about away. And in place, we have this division and this ugliness. It's just not acceptable. On the world stage, the other countries, they see how weak we are. You have our president out there. It's actually unimaginable. Are you kidding me that this guy's got a little bit of couth and warmth for this guy in North Korea? And here at the same point, he can't find the warmth to get along with people right here in America for this country? I'm not even going to go on about the dynamics involving in North Korea and what's best for America, which I will, but that's not the point I'm making right now. The man has got the capacity to get along with a foreign dictator, but can't seem to be able to do the same thing in the name of the people of this country, not his own needs. Folks, you know I'm right. And you're getting it from a place of love. I love you. You can hate me, but that's exactly what our commander-in-chief taught us how to do, isn't it? You can hate me, but I don't hate you back. I have no hate for you. I want no hate for you, just love. And that's what our country needs more of. And anyone in this time, when our country is at stake, that accepts anything less than the absolute unity that we require and the love that should back it by brethren of this country, all fighting for a future that we can all enjoy, that is putting humanity first. That is a noble cause, and it will be a time soon when folks are held to account. When people ask, where were you at that dire need of America? Were you adding to the fire? Were you putting coal on that fire? Or were you trying to help in the sad, sad state of our country? Some of us are so sad right now, knowing just how much we lost, while others are so oblivious. Like I said, other countries, they're not obsessed like Trump is with our numbers. They're not looking at that. They look at a country divided. And when they see that, they see no matter how strong your military is, no matter how strong your economy is, that you are weak. In fact, should one little thing happen to our economy, we're already weak. We can't handle anything else. That is in serious weakness. It's not serving the American people. And your Happyhealer accepts nothing less for the American people. And folks, I'm not pointing at you. I'm pointing at those bastards who put us there in the first place. The people who, till this day, give us their condescending smiles and don't put our children first. Folks, I'm going to leave you right now with the speech from last night. I'll be back on live with you. God bless you. Stick with me. Stick with the messaging. It's so incredibly important. We're fighting for our country. Okay, so too much crying. Talk to me. Talk to the Happyhealer. Here I am live. The Happyhealer's live. This is how we jive. Talk to the Happyhealer. Yeah, that's really cool. So it is somewhat very interactive, and I'm trying to improve upon it every moment, every second. And there's all kinds of ideas that's coming through here. And just imagine how all of this is going to evolve. I mean, all of this, right? How it's all going to evolve. Imagine. I want you to imagine. I want you to believe and to imagine too. Okay, let's talk about crime. We have some serious issues. Crime has a reason. Just like every other effect has a cause. For every cause, there is an effect. And I'm saying this elementary stuff. And even that has a reason, right? And here's the reason for crime. People don't have their sustenance. The economy's working for some people, but it's not you. It's not necessarily you. Maybe it is. But it's not working for everyone. That's the point. And really, it's not working for you, I'll be honest with you. In my opinion, I don't care who you are, it's not working for you. Because our economy needs to gradually shift into one that is about the future, where we're headed, not where we were, but where we're going. Not where we was, but where we're going. You get what I'm saying? So we all have to be focused on that future. And when we get excited about that future, something else comes with it. Because we are talking about crime, I don't want to confuse you. But when we get more and more focused on that future, we're bringing in and ushering in a great new age. We're taking care of humanity. I mean, think about the ramifications of that, Comstock. Think about the ramifications of that. Everybody who is listening, think about that just for a moment. We are ushering in a brand new age. An age where humanity is put first. Humanity is put on a pedestal. In that we treat people with love and with kindness. That we do something so profoundly different. That we claim our stake. We say we have arrived. That humanity has arrived. And that humanity has intrinsic value. And with that value, we also stake claim to the fact that each person who we say has value is taken care of as such. So it's time to take care of humanity. In that sense, very simple. We have proposed, and we will, this is part of the platform. These are the things that we do not budge on. How do we get there? Let's have that discussion. Once you make the decision, life is about making tough decisions and doing what's right. And once you make that decision, once you know that's the way we're going, once you have already determined there's no other possible course of action because no other action is sufficient to the human spirit and what we must do. So, the decision is made. Now, how do we get there? That's the question. And when you have that in your mind, and we're running with that mandate we own. Look, we're giving something to the right. We're giving something to the left. We're uniting. And the fact is, we're doing things just right. It just so happens that when you do things just right, everybody gets just a little. And we're uniting. We are growing this country in ways we could never even imagine. And it all starts with a seed, an idea. Just like anything great starts with just a seed, an idea, right? So that's where we're going, folks. And when we go on that journey, we bring humanity with us. We are kind and focused on humanity. That is what is driven and driving our purpose. There is no question. Crime will be down. In fact, it will be almost unheard of because we are taking care of people's needs. The thing that drives crime now, by and large, is depression or not having some kinds of needs, necessities of that nature. You're either stealing or there's some other need. In the brave new world we've got coming, we have to accept that in order to take care of humanity, we have to see that light involves all humanity and that all humanity are the right humanity to take care of. And that when we take care of those people, then we know that all people are included. Because all people matter. That's our message. And we're not going away from it. So this is how we run with a mandate. And we know that on the other side of that is a much better world, including the problems of crime coming down. In the meantime, you've got a status quo. You've got to continue to put cops on the streets and to clamor down on it. What do you expect? I mean, no, of course you're not going to do that. You've got to have a sensible approach. Okay, folks? I am a little bit... My humor comes off sometimes at the worst moments, but maybe I'm a little like Trump in that way. You know, he's going to have his hands full with the Happyhealer, let me tell you. So all we can do is really hope to get the Happyhealer up in that position if we want Donald Trump to basically have his booty handed to him. And that's just how it would be, too. Because, you know, when I do my best, when I'm pitted against another person, let another person challenge me. Ba-bam! It comes back. If I'm just, you know, free aiming, freestyling, I'm almost always never at my best then. So it's when the intensity sticks up. And, you know, many people would argue, hey, well, here we go. My Trumpism, I guess. Toot. I got to get a little horn here when I toot my own horn. But the truth is, you know, you almost have to a little bit when your competition is Donald Trump. And it's not about tooting your own horn, because we clearly know where the power comes from. And that actually is the distinction and the difference between me and, well, then my opponent in that sense, right? We're assuming a lot considering we've already beaten the Democratic people. But the truth is, we should have really already beat them. We're the only one. Let's be honest. Let's say we actually make it to the general election. We have a shot of beating Trump. Picture Trump in this election against the Happyhealer. I mean, we would be fully engaged. We are not going to let up on the ideas that we know. Can you believe how close we would be? We would be inspiring this whole world. Oh, yes. And can you imagine? Oh, yeah. I mean, let me not even just get into that frame of mind for a moment, because then we'll all be there for the next week. Because that's just how real it is. And imagine what we can do. Donald Trump wouldn't know I hit him. He wouldn't know. And you're trying to tell me that a person of the people, by the people, who's working with that kind of energy, who, when the American people fill him up with energy, he becomes alive even more than he already was? You mean to tell me when Trump himself, his biggest accusation against people is that they're lacking energy, and then you have a force of goodness coming against that? Are you kidding me? How can you possibly match up against the American people? And by the way, I voted for Trump. How would he even compete against that? I represent the people who voted for him, and I would remind him of that. Just as I would remind him of every time he says he's running against the Happyhealer, what the Happyhealer means, and it represents kindness and love and everything he is not. We would be the uniting force this country needs at a time no less than when it needed it the most. We have to show love for this country. We get one country, we get one life. We have to love in both of them, and we have to do it abundantly, and we have to do it with courage, because that's going to be the contest. So the question goes back to it again, and we are making the case for the Happyhealer, the presidency of the Happyhealer in 2020 and moving forward and beyond, and why that is the way we need to go forward, not backwards and backwards thinking. We're talking about going forward into the brave new world. We've got ideas from the right, left, and center. We represent all of America, and by golly, we are the candidacy and we are the American people. I represent you just yesterday as an American citizen struggling with the same struggles you have, and then the next day perhaps we shall see if we can make the dream come true. Because this is the dream. If you want the dream candidacy, this is the dream candidacy. I assure you, somebody who's been prepping their lives for the last 10 years, and you know who I'm talking about, those condescending candidates, who's been prepping themselves for the last 10, 15, 20 years, a lifetime, really. With their Ivy League educations and their condescending smiles, they look down upon the people whom they've prepared their speeches years ago. Oh, I hardly think so. I'm not falling for that one. Excuse me. I know how to put on a good act too. But you know what? You can't act when it's genuine, because they can sense it. And when you say the truth and bill it as the truth, they can sense when it's lies. So I say, unlike what you would ever say, and I'm talking to my contenders in this regard, I want you to challenge your constituents, your supporters to question you, to challenge you, because that's what I do with mine. Anyways, speaking of that, let me go in and look at some of these messages. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are great. And I get myself worked up because, we all matter. We all matter. Us. We are the American people. And we can't forget that throughout all of this. So the thing that makes the Happy Healer most prepared for being president of the United States is the fact that he is of the people, the fact that he's putting love first, and that is what our country needs. It's heading fast towards a civil war. We are getting separated every single day that we spend in this heightened state of alert, this heightened state where we're getting ready to kill one another because of opinions, this state where Facebook shuts down freedom of speech, where everywhere people need safe spaces. This is the wrong way forward, my fellow Americans. We have a better way forward, and that's in this campaign. We're talking about love. That's why the Happy Healer is running. There is no better time in history than now for your candidate, the Happy Healer, to run for president of the United States of America, and that is why he is running for president. Make no mistake about it. We are in this race to take it to the finish, and we're running because you matter. And my goodness, I matter, and nobody's treating us like that. Don't you know? So I stepped forward. Here I am. I've arrived. Now, can we please get on with the business of the American people? They expect work to get done. And, well, it's just time to do that work now, isn't it? Nah. We're done. We're done with the just sitting around not getting anything done. We're done with that now, okay? We want to be done with that a long time ago. But the fact of the matter is, we have to wait at least a year and so many months, almost 2 years. But the fact is, that's going to come so fast, let me tell you. We have to be prepared for this, folks. You know, I don't want to tell you in 6 months about how we squandered an opportunity because we didn't listen now. Because we didn't do what was demanded of us now. Because we didn't meet some obligation that we needed to meet now. So, all I will tell you is we have to continue to fight for this if we want it. We got to fight for it. And we got to fight hard. We got to fight harder than all the other candidates. Otherwise, it'll be their ideas that gets to win at the end of the day. And the sad truth is, folks, in this race, you have two choices. I'm going to tell you this boldly right now. I'm going to tell you, and I believe this as much as I believe my mom to be in heaven. And she is, okay? Or in a better place. She's not gone forever, okay? None of us are, ever. There's so much to be happy about. But the fact is, there are two stark choices in this race for president. I'm going to make this super clear right now. The realistic choices right now as it stands. Even though our chances are very slim, they are right now. We have to build up an entire coalition. All we have going for us are our candidate, and our ideas, and the supporters that we do have that also get it. But even with all of that, the truth is, the reality is, there's only two choices in this race. Two stark choices, one or the other. The way we have been going for the last 2 years, if you like that, and you're able to live with that kind of hate and the country being in this kind of constant, I mean, it's only one person's job to really be that when you're president. There's only one president, and you have to be a leader that unites, and this president really doesn't. And so that's the kind of thing that I'm just sure and certain that we're either going to have a unified future moving forward or we're not. That's really the stark difference, isn't it? And with one or the other comes a lot and makes a big difference for our country and for the future of the world and for America in that world stage. And of course, everything else that comes along with it. And, you know, as much as I can say about a lot of things, I can say one thing is so true. I am incredibly different, but I am very stable. A lot more stable than I think a lot of people would agree with me if I were to say, even than Donald Trump, our current president, right? So, and that's easy to say. I'm more stable than most people. But, when people don't know you, they can't say that for sure. They just have to learn about you, and learn about the goals. The thing is, though, is I wonder how people who say these outlandish things that they've been saying, right? And looking down on the people with their condescending ways and being rude, how is that considered stable? Okay, so we need a resetting of things, and we need a conversation. And, as much as I can say... Okay, so too much crying. Talk to me. Talk to the Happy Healer. Here I am live. The Happy Healer's live. This is how we jive. Talk to the Happy Healer. Yeah, that's really cool. So it is somewhat very interactive, and I'm trying to improve upon it every moment, every second. And there's all kinds of ideas that's coming through here. And just imagine how all of this is going to evolve. I mean, all of this, right? How it's all going to evolve. Imagine. I want you to imagine. I want you to believe and to imagine too. Okay, folks. Welcome. And thank you for hanging out with me here. Let me get this... There we go. Yeah. So, welcome back. We're talking about things that matter to the American people. And we're the only candidate doing it, the only campaign that's focused on the American people and what is important to them. And I was talking about in that last speech from last night about the candidacy that I have for President of the United States, that it's a stark choice. And on one end, you have Donald Trump and all that he represents, which is not ever going to be unity, is it? We know what we get from Donald Trump. I know. I voted for him. We know what we get. And we know why we did it. And we're not married, no matter how much anybody wants to say. We're not married just to a candidate. We're married to our principles and to the American people and what's best for them. And that we are the American people, that we're not going to have the wool pulled over our eyes by anyone on the left or the right. That we put ourselves first. That as a Democrat and as an American, I am always going to put America first. As a Republican, I suspect that you would do the same. We are Americans, and that we allowed a bit too much of their condescending hate to sift through. And that because we have so much love, we kind of fell a little victim to that. Because while they are disingenuous, we are very real. And the things that they're inciting seems to work based on the fact that we're just so incredibly real, aren't we? And we care so much. And they tap into that, and they use that in a way against us. Think about that. They use our love and our kindness against us. Not anymore. No. Because if we allow that, then in a sense, we're putting our beautiful country that we love so much in that future when we can have so much better. The future that we're talking about, the brave new world, the spiritual new realm, as we're calling it, that's what the Happy Healer is calling it, because that's the truth. It's the spiritual new realm. And that spiritual new realm is so grand, so great. And that what we are fighting for is the future of humanity, but that God set us up for this at this time. He said you don't have to collect garbage for the rest of your life, that you can actually be a part of the human spirit, that you can learn about your Creator and about life, and learn to love each other, and to put humanity first in ways that your current leadership would never allow. They want too much of you, and they like the disparaging differences between the haves and the have-nots. What gives them their definition and their value is the fact that we put them on a pedestal just like they do themselves, and that we all honor it, don't we? No, not anymore. We just can't do it. You see, we were always humble. We didn't really care about your head issues, but we do care about our future and the future of our kids. And you see, the stuff you've been doing to us, when I do say you, I'm talking about those other candidates that actually expect to win after having done what they did. Why do you think that the Happyhealer is running? Make no mistake about it. So, that is just the truth. And I wanted to touch on that, but also I wanted to touch a little bit more on Donald Trump because, all right, he was on his way back to Washington this morning after spending Memorial Day weekend in Japan. There, he met with U.S. troops, and he downplayed the recent missile test by North Korea. During the course of his visit, Trump suggested that he wasn't personally even bothered by the short-range missile test by the North Koreans. The president wrote that North Koreans fired off some small weapons that disturbed some of his people and some others, but not me. I have confidence that Chairman Kim will keep his promises. Yeah, I don't have as much faith in Kim Jong-un as our dear president, but I will say that while he chooses to never allow an inch to anybody in his own home country, for the country he loves so much, he is so quick to become friends and just make allowances for, make excuses for. I'm sorry, I will always go out on a limb for an American before somebody else when it comes to loving our country and doing what's right. Because on this issue, we are right. We only want peace. We don't want our own country to be a dictatorship. We want the people to be in control. We don't want that country to be as ugly as it is. But I guess those men have a bit in common then, don't they? Well, folks, your Happyhealer is a very strong guy, and he works hard, but we're working hard for the American people. Well, folks, I'm going to be back on later. This is how our candidacy goes. We're the first candidacy, really, in a true, honest way, of for and by the people, and that we are going to keep it that way, and that we are going to continue coming back on, and that we're doing a brand new thing here. We're running through media. We're putting our faith in the American people, and we put our trust in the American people, and we are using all the tools of our Creator in the times that we live in. We know that the brave new future holds room and possibilities for all kinds of new technological advancements, making so much more possible, a new kind of economy. Yes, Americans will be able to actually get health care for all, and those bottom Americans, we won't be having the kind of crime and stuff because we will have a bottom that also protects them. They won't have to choose between thievery or being a good citizen. They will just have their needs. And that's basically a stance we have based on the fact that you are humanity, and that as such, you have intrinsic value, and that we all agree that just being human comes with certain inalienable rights. Just being human and one of God's children comes with the love and care from the rest of humanity and the other aspects and subjects of our Creator. And so this is our truth. That's where we're headed. We are the American people. Yes, we are allowed to believe and dream. I am your dream candidate. We are taking this to the finish line. God bless you, and we shall see you next time right here on www.happyhealerforpresident.com and all of the things that we represent, which is us, the American people. Talk to you soon. Stick with the messaging. Share these messages. Get involved. Donate if you can. Sign up. Get the newsletters. And we will see you here later on today, because that's how we're running. We are on the road to the White House. This is our race to the White House. We're doing it online. We're going to be also going to New Hampshire and some other areas. We're running a comprehensive campaign. But right now, we are getting our messaging out, and we are honest with the American people. So that's what you have to look forward to. We shall see you and your families soon. We will always continue to fight for what is important to us Americans. Just so important. And that's why. Happyhealer for President.com.